Hi, Tormod here, and today I would like to talk about schizophrenia and psychiatry and the democracy society we live in. The democracy society, the world of psychiatry, and you might say how we can make psychiatry more democratic, in lack of better words, more open, you might say. So in the Western world, in the modern world, you might there's common to have psychiatry. Psychiatry as a service, as an institution, is very common in most part of the Western world, and I think it's really important point we could work on together, cooperate about, is the fact that we all have great interest in psychology and in psychiatry as such. We all have great interest in such because we are all more or less living with mental handicaps, all of us as human beings. So basically, I would say that how can we strengthen that relationship between the institutions of psychiatry and people of society, of a nation, of a region, of a municipality, and so on. So what I call for is a more open sharing of what is the symptoms, what are the symptoms, what is the illness at the current time. I call for a sort of a open, you might call it a web page, from that local municipality hospital. Giving us the numbers of how many are there in the hospital that are suffering from eating disorders, from body eating disorders. How many people are there in the hospital who are suffering from different forms of schizophrenia, of hearing voices, of manic depression, of obsessive thinking, or addictions, or drugs, and so on, and so on. Because these numbers, I think that very many people today would like to know this information about their local hospital, about their local community, society, because we are many people who stand around looking at the hospital. Either we are family of people with mental illness, or we are former patients ourselves, or we are just people with a genuine interest about society, health, psychiatry, psychology, and so on. And we are many standing around the hospital, the units, the service, the institutions, who want what is best for all. We want to create and help shape solutions that are best for all, for everybody. So that we as human beings in our local municipality can work together to find solutions in the society, not in the hospitals, but also in the hospitals maybe, but we together can find solutions, both within the hospitals and in the local community. Mostly in the local community, of course, because that is where we can change things mostly. And to work together to change the settings of psychiatry, to work together to change the society we see, where we can make arrangements and structural changes in society to make the suffering less, you might say, what we can do in our city environment, in our urban environment, in our local municipality. What can we do in a local municipality to prevent mental illness? What is there to be done? And I do mean fundamentally, all over, encompassing, including, and through and through changes. So I'm convinced that there is lots and lots we can do if we can have some more openness from the mental hospitals about what type of illness are in the hospital at the current time, what type of symptoms, what type of diagnosis is in the mental hospitals at the current time. So my suggestion is simply to have a web page at the local hospital saying that that is updated every week or every month or something like that, saying that we have so many patients with schizophrenia, so many patients with bipolar, so many patients with eating disorders, and so on and so on. Such information, such a page of within one's local municipality hospital, say giving the clear and clean data about the symptoms in the hospital at the current time. That would be interesting to see, so that we as a community around the hospital can do make changes in society, in the system, you might say, so that we can improve and better the system. We can improve and better the system, the fundamentals of the system, of the human existence, of the human experience, to change and alter the fundamentals. Things like money, things like consume, things like city buildings, facilities, offerings, services, social meeting grounds, public spaces, all these things we can debate and find best for all solutions to. There is lots we can do if we knew better, if we better knew what are the symptoms at the current state. What are the diagnoses at the moment? What are we looking at here? What are the symptoms? What is wrong? Where can we as society take charge and change the fundamentals of the human experience in our society, in our city, in our municipality, in our world? So this is a call for more open psychiatry, more inclusive society, and more open psychiatry, to find points we can work together, points we can cooperate, points we can change, and things like structure and environment and offerings and public spaces, money, income, all these things, housing, services, all these things we can debate and talk about and make cool, new, best for all solutions. That is what we would like to see. So that we can all share the responsibility equally among ourselves to the current symptoms, the current data from our local hospital, and we can then make changes in our society because as a result of that information. There is lots of us. There is lots of us standing around the hospital, and there is lots that we can do to change this. So obviously, we do need change. Obviously, change is inevitable, and we need change. and we must change for the better, best for all. One is an equality principle of life, just for life in its purity, in its essence, in its detail, to bring change to this world and to find best for all solutions. This is what I would like to emphasize in this video. Thank you very much for listening. See you around and enjoy.